Hey there, everyone, and welcome to what I assume is the finale to Ocarina of Time Randomizer, Series 2. I've been doing this series for quite a long time, and what you just saw there is that I had gotten the biggest bomb bag since I had gotten, all of the medallions in order to unlock that cutscene. And right now, I am working on seeing if I can find a couple of the other items that we need. I'm pretty sure that I can actually beat the game straight away. Like, I could just go to Ganon's castle right now and get everything done. Okay, so it looks like there are only 5 rupees here, so it looks like we have not done this yet. Because I'm pretty sure that the harder, or it would get harder when you play this mini-game again after doing it once. Where the Zora just throws blue rupees for you to pick up. I got something very nice for you. Come and get it. So it looks like we did not do this. And would you look at that? There's the last bottle. Well, I think that satisfies me enough. Now, I think that the only item that is left would probably be the claim check, which I think that we will be able to get in the chest where we would normally get the boss key for Ganon's castle. Although, do I even have that boss key? I might need to check real quick. Okay. Yep, we have it. Oh, and we also are down to 96 tokens, and we also don't have the Stone of Agony. I don't think it really matters because those items are not all that important for us to progress through the game anyway. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and beat Ganon within this episode. Now, something that I had noticed when I was checking the spoiler log to see where the last bottle was, I saw that I had created this seed in September of last year, and I'm finishing this playthrough in September of this year. Isn't that crazy? I created this seed a year ago, and now I'm finishing it. I just find that very hard to believe that it has taken me this long. Huh, Spirit Temple music. Well, that's nice. You know, this kind of sounds almost fitting. Okay, so I think that last time I had discussed about an issue that I was having with my internet browser freezing, and what was exactly going on was that there would be some cases, usually on DeviantArt, when I was going through some deviations in my watch list. Although from the morning that I am recording this, I think that it happened when I was looking through the deviations that were already in my favorites folder. Like, not in the watch list. Which I assumed was where the problem was occurring. Okay, so we found the map for the ice cavern, but we're all done with that. And something quite shocking is that I did reboot my desktop a couple of times in the hopes of trying to decrease the chance of the browser having problems, but my browser actually did begin to have problems, even though I had rebooted it normally just shortly before that. So that was just quite unfortunate that apparently not even reboots happen to work to keep it from happening. So what I ended up doing was just going back to using Firefox, because since recording the previous episode, I actually did figure out how to get rid of the problem with my cookies. So what I needed to do was that I needed to clear my cookies in cache, and I did that on both my desktop and my laptop, and then tried logging in from my desktop. Although when I tried to sign in, like, my username was already up, but when I clicked the next section, where it takes me to the next part after getting to the username, it claimed that the username was not found. And I just had to type the username in again, and then it worked. And then the same thing also went for my password. So I think that what was going on was that all I needed to do was to type in my username and password again, and that was what allowed me to log back in. After what you did to Koholint Island? Where's that? I've never heard of Koholint Island. I've never even heard of that location. Alright, so what's the music gonna be for this? Oh, it's the Shadow Temple music. Doesn't sound very much like epic fight music, but... I also realize I need to get the light arrows equipped. Also gonna save the game at this point. Not that it will matter, because... dang, I swung either too early or too late. Now, I think that I saw a comment that a friend of mine had posted who was also having issues with logging in with cookies, and they said something about it being the result of cookies and cache being turned off. And I think that there was also a setting that said to clear my cookies in cache when I close Firefox. So I unselected that. I'm not sure if I was supposed to or if it was unselected before. But I have not had any issues with it so far. And I am thinking that probably to make sure that this problem never happens again, that I should just clear my cookies probably once every year. Like maybe every new year I will clear my cookies in cache, because I wasn't having that much of an issue with my cookies, you know, between a whole year. In fact, for as long as I have been using my current desktop, I was not having any issues for... Okay, well, let's see. I got it in 2018, and then I began to have issues with cookies on it last year, which was 2024, so that was 6 years. So I was able to get by without having to clear my cookies for 6 years, but then the problem came back a year later, and that was earlier this year. And there were a couple of new things I needed to figure out with trying to clear the cookies this time. But I eventually figured it out. And I think that another thing that probably was the cause of why my browser was freezing when I was using Google Chrome, it might have been because I would sometimes go to websites or web pages where some advertisement may play, and apparently my computer and or Google Chrome did not like that. So it just caused my browser to not work properly. But those ads don't show up when I'm using Firefox, so maybe that was the issue. Though part of me kind of wishes that I had just figured out the problem back in February and just stuck to using Firefox, because that probably is the superior web browser anyway. I was only using Google Chrome because I couldn't log into my account from Firefox, as I was still having that issue. And I had cut out the castle collapse sequence. You are given the option to keep that in, but for this randomizer playthrough, I had chosen to have it be left out. And I suppose that makes sense because you know, there isn't really anything that is changed with the randomizer when you are escaping the castle, because you don't pick up any items when you are on your way out of the castle. And is this a very fitting way to end the game? The final battle with Zelda's Lullaby playing. You know, it kind of reminds me of the Nostalgia Critic's review of Quest for Camelot, where he pointed out that in the scene where Kaylee was running away from Ruber's iron henchman, that Nostalgia Critic pointed out that the music was unfitting because they were playing very holy music, and I think it's something like this, where we're having an intense moment just as calm music is playing. It probably would have been a lot more epic if something like the horse race music was playing during this fight. But yeah, this music just does not work out. Okay, so anyway, I've not had any issues with my browser freezing since I went back to using Firefox, though the problem could still occur, as my parents did suggest it doesn't matter what internet browser that I am using, but ultimately my dad had said that I should just go ahead and use whatever internet browser I think will work for each computer that I am using. Like, when I had gotten the problem cleared Thursday night, I had sent a text to my dad asking what he recommends I do, and he just said, just whatever internet browser I think will work. And for a while, I just continued to use Google Chrome, even though the problem on Firefox was fixed, because I figured, well, maybe Google Chrome will work out much better. But then there was the issue with the browser freezing at times when I'm on DeviantArt. Even though I think a friend of mine had said that he was not having issues with browsing DeviantArt on Google Chrome, despite using it probably for the past couple of years. But what do you guys say? Have you been having any issues with an internet browser? Like, if any of you guys have a DeviantArt account, have any of you guys ever had any signing in issues because you needed to clear your cookies? Or have there been cases with with you having issues with the computer not working right when you go to certain pages on the internet? I really would like to know. I mean, I would probably assume that maybe it was Chrome that was causing some problems with my computer. But then again, it could just be because my computer has been getting much older. Because I've had it for 7 years now. And I'm kind of worried a bit about what the future may hold when it comes to either continuing to use the computer that I have now or switching to a new one. Like, my parents consider on possibly getting a new laptop as my primary computer. And I think that I remember last week when I brought the issue up to them, in which they said, well, what makes you think that you need to have a PC, a desktop? And I just told them, well, wasn't that what you told me when I got the PC or desktop? And the reason why I needed to get a desktop back then was because the laptop that I had at the time was not powerful enough to play games on Steam, which was the main thing that I was wanting to do. Because I wanted to be able to play Gary's Mod and Ukulele with my Steam account, and my laptop at the time was not capable of doing that. But they said that times had changed, and that I probably should be able to play those games on a laptop now if I can get one that can handle Steam games. But what do you guys say? Do you have a laptop that does allow you to play games on Steam? Because if they say that there is a laptop that is capable of doing that, then I do trust them. But using laptops also kind of raises another concern that I have, and that would be being able to play YouTube videos alongside also doing artwork. Because something that I like to do whenever I do artwork on my computer is make it so that I have the video player, the internet browser, or even a DVD player be placed on one side of my computer screen and have the paint program be on the other, and I can just watch the video while I am working on a picture. And I remember doing that and also just working on the artwork while listening to music, like without watching the video that the music was coming from, but still having both windows open at the same time. I think that had caused the laptop to just shut off all on its own because it couldn't handle both at the same time. I haven't had that issue with my desktop, and I'm not sure if I would have that issue with getting a new laptop that is more powerful than the ones that I had before. But I also am wondering if I should even try watching YouTube videos and doing artwork at the same time anyway, regardless of what computer I am using. I really would like to get your guys' opinion on that if you know anything about that. Because I would like to continue being able to do that. I just am not sure if I will be able to do that once I switch computers, if I have to ultimately switch computers, or if I should even be doing that sort of thing in the first place. I also wonder if anyone else has tried that. Just putting both the paint program and the video player on screen at the same time. We pretty much have made our way to the end of another Ocarina of Time Randomizer Let's Play. I've done one before on my main channel, and I think I did 2 or 3 of them on my other Let's Play channel, which I have not posted any videos on for years. But I am logged into that account on my phone, and I often will check my phone when I'm at work from that account. Sometimes to watch videos or to listen to music. Although I don't do it while I'm doing the actual working. It's just that if I am taking a break, I may check out some videos. But when I'm actually working, I may just listen to music. For some reason, watching the credits here looks much different from how I watched them before. Maybe it could be because I hadn't seen these credits for a while, as I had not played this game all the way through for quite a while, or at least the Nintendo 64 version of the game. When checking out the end credits here, and considering the ending, as well as how the music sounds, it kind of gives me a sort of sad feeling. As far as how the story went, I mean. Since Link managed to defeat Ganondorf, everything is good now. But now Link needs to be sent back to relive his childhood in the past, so he doesn't exist in this time period anymore. And I, of course, have heard quite a lot about how Link's life after the events of Ocarina of Time had gone, since nobody remembered who he was, because when Link was sent back to relive his childhood, it created a new timeline. So everyone in that new timeline did not know anything about what Link had done before. It is kind of like Link would go up to someone and say, "Oh hey, I was the hero who defeated Ganondorf." And they are like, "Really? When?" I think that the credits for Ocarina of Time are kind of out of sync when viewing them from the emulator. Yeah, pretty much you notice that Malon's singing ends up happening right after we actually see Malon, as the footage is actually going by a lot quicker. I think that could be because the music was made with the sort of limitation of the Nintendo 64 in mind. But with Project 64, it ends up having the footage go by a bit faster than it would on actual console. Although I think that for the 3DS remake, they did be sure to adjust that over there as well. I can't say that that's the reason why watching this looks different from how I had seen the closing credits every time before. Perhaps sometime I should do a bit of a comparison between the credits as they would play on the emulator and how they would play on actual console. So here we are at the very start of the child timeline. I suppose that the music playing right now is kind of a bit happy and a bit sad. Happy because Link is back to his childhood so he can relive his lost time. But it's also a bit sad because Navi flies away. Oh, and I also still see Navi in the window. Yeah, I suppose that in the original game, you were not supposed to see Navi after she flew out the window. But because of the randomizer changing the color of Navi, it's pretty obvious that she was still there. And of course, Link goes to warn Zelda about what Ganondorf is up to. Playing this game again, after playing it for the first time, almost 20 years at this point, I guess I kind of feel a bit different about this game now than I did when I first played it. Or just kind of thinking back about what my first impressions of this game were. that right there concludes another Let's Play of this game. And this is probably going to be the last Let's Play that I will do for a while. I am also wondering about getting a EverDrive 64 so I can play these ROM hacks on my actual Nintendo 64. And that would be pretty great to do something like that, just playing them in my own time without having to deal with my computer. So, I thank you all very much for watching through this Let's Play of the game, and now I guess what I'll do next is just work on a couple of my other videos for a while. I do have one in the works, which I have planned for release on sometime in October. I'm sure some of you guys may already know what that video is, but other than that, this is pretty much it for this Let's Play. I probably will wait a year before I do another Ocarina of Time randomizer Let's Play, which will certainly be much harder than the one that I have done here, as I will probably have even harder settings than before. But I think that I will look into doing another Let's Play on a completely different game, like one that is a new adventure game rather than just a randomizer. So thank you for checking out this Let's Play right here, and if you have any ideas for other ROM hacks that I could check out of either Ocarina of Time or Mario 64 or Banjo-Kazooie, feel free to leave them in the comments if you have any suggestions. Well, that's about it. Hope to see you again in whatever I play next.